It's officially pumpkin spice season.
I wanted to dedicate a whole video to what is happening this week. Tomorrow I am hosting the 2024 Bursary kickoff event. So last year I launched the first ever corporate bursary scheme. As with everything I do, one year it was just an idea, the next year it was a real life thing, and the year after it was 5 times bigger, literally. I am hosting the 2024 Bursary Launch event. I used to walk home in the dark, and I used to have to like scrounge lifts from people that were in my class at college because I couldn't afford the bus, and like the buses stopped running at a certain time. And I feel like my goal in life is to just help other people's lives feel less hard.
It's officially pumpkin spice season at Starbucks. I'm very, very happy about it, but it's past noon. I'm not a psychopath, so I'm not going to have any coffee because I won't sleep tonight, so I think I'm going to go for a chai latte. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Cheers.
This is going to feel like a bit of a chaotic start to a vlog, but there is a very good reason that I'm starting this vlog in my car. I am currently in my hometown. Very randomly. I don't visit a lot other than to see family and friends, but completely randomly I own a portfolio of rental properties in my hometown and have just had to come to an estate agent's completely randomly. And whilst driving through my hometown, I just drove past the college that I did my accounting exams at. I went to night school, and the journey of going to that night school was not a good time in my life. She says with laughing, my therapist would shout at me for doing that. I did an apprenticeship to become an accountant, but my apprenticeship was not in accounting. And I know that sounds really weird, but I had done a lot of research when I was doing my A-levels. I didn't go to university, and the research that I had done on becoming an accountant told me that getting a job in finance was really, really hard to do. Just getting that first bit of experience, especially if, you know, like my parents didn't work in professional services. My parents weren't like, oh, we know so-and-so and so-and-so who can get you a job. Like, I had no contacts. I was from a standing start. No one in my family could introduce me to anybody, and so I knew that getting experience in finance was my number one priority. And so I actually took a business administration apprenticeship in my local council's finance department just to get some finance experience, and it was brilliant. Such a good qualification, such a good apprenticeship. But on top of doing an apprenticeship 9 to 5, I also had to go to night school. Within that apprenticeship, I was paid the minimum wage, which at that time was like £3 something an hour. So I also had 3 different jobs at the same time. So I did a full-time job, 3 part-time jobs to earn more money, and was doing night school to do AAT at the same time. And that journey and the trauma that it gave me just having to work that hard, and the common sense that I've always had that told me at the time, my employer is not getting the most out of me because I am having to take other jobs because of my like economic background. That experience has fueled so many decisions in my life that have like led me to where I am today, to running the business in the way that I run the business today, like having incredible pay packages, not paying the apprenticeship minimum wage, but just knowing that I am getting the most out of my team with that. And then also starting the bursary scheme, which is today's video. So I wanted to dedicate a whole video to what is happening this week. And tomorrow I am hosting the 2024 Bursary kickoff event. So last year, in 2023, I launched the first ever corporate bursary scheme where I, out of my own pocket, fully funded somebody through their AAT accounting qualifications. And since then, the bursary scheme has grown massively. As with everything I do, one year it was just an idea, the next year it was a real life thing, and the year after it was 5 times bigger, literally. So this year we have got 5 bursary recipients. I have been able to go to Free Agent, which is an incredible accounting software brand, and they have sponsored the bursary scheme this year. So they've actually given me the finances to be able to absolutely rocket fuel the bursary recipients this year. And so after all of the applications, after all of the curating of the package, after like all of this time and energy and research, we are finally at the point where like all 5 students are starting their study journeys. And tomorrow I am hosting the 2024 Bursary Launch event. And so just, I don't know, while I'm in my hometown, which is something that I don't do very often, if anyone is in the same boat, I feel like some people love their hometown and visit it all the time, but I don't actually spend a lot of time here, and just driving through the town centre and like going past the college just got me feeling very nostalgic. And there's something about like actually seeing somewhere that you've been to, especially during a hard time in your life, just really made me want to pick up the camera now and record it. So I've actually just pulled up into Starbucks. I've just got a pumpkin cream iced chai latte, and I just thought I'd sit and have a chat with you and let you know what's happening tomorrow before the chaos of tomorrow kicks in, because I don't know how much I'll actually be able to capture tomorrow behind the scenes. Before I tell you what the plan is for tomorrow, I also need to tell you, if you're like me and you are like a data-driven, nerdy girly, but you also believe in the universe and you're a little bit woo-wah, if you know, you know, how is this for a bit of fate? So the bursary kickoff event is tomorrow, and I've actually invited last year's bursary recipient, Stacey, to come. And I literally believe like so much in my heart that she was meant to be the first recipient. Like so much about Stacey and Stacey's journey is like so similar to mine, and it's really interesting as well because we actually did like anonymous selecting for the bursary scheme. So every single year we basically take out all identifiable data when we make a decision to make sure that we're not making a decision based on bias. And when I tell you that me and Stacey literally look like we're related, like we look so similar, like so much of our backgrounds is very similar. It's just absolutely wild, and I literally believe that it was meant to be her. Me and James have like surprised her before. We drove up to, like, she lives quite a few hours from our house, and me and James drove and took her out for dinner, and it was just absolutely incredible. Like, just adore her family so much. She's got a really young family, a great partner, and yeah, just like such a wholesome experience. And so she's actually coming tomorrow. I've invited her and, you know, covered all of her expenses so that she can come and take a day off to come. And she is coming tomorrow, and she's actually going to speak. She's going to share her story of what it's been like to work with me for the last 12 months, what it was like to receive the bursary, and her sort of tips for getting the most out of the bursary scheme. And she texted me yesterday. I've literally just got goosebumps. She texted me yesterday and she got her exam results and she passed her entire level. So just before the second bursary scheme launches, she just passed the level of AAT that she was gifted on the bursary. And if that isn't a full circle moment, I don't know what is, and just feels like such an incredibly like positive, good energy, good vibes scenario to be like handing over from one cohort into the other. So the plan for tomorrow, when I thought about hosting a launch event, because, you know, last year it was just me and Stacey on Zoom. When I thought about the launch event, I just wanted an opportunity for the recipients to meet each other, meet their training providers, and then meet as many like buddies and mentors as possible. And so this year for 2024, as well as the whole package includes all of their training covered, all of their exam fees, all of their AAT membership fees. They get access to one-to-one mentorship for a whole 12 months. On top of that, we've also allocated a StriveX buddy. So my team, my employees within the accounting firm are just so incredibly passionate about everything that we do through Accountant She that they have actually volunteered to be buddies. So when we have new members of staff start in the practice, we allocate them with a buddy. And a buddy is someone who's not your mentor. It's not official mentorship. A buddy is someone that you ask questions that you might not want to ask your mentor. It's someone who isn't acting as an official mentor, but is just there with you for the journey. So all of our StriveX buddies are still studying, whether that's AAT or ACCA. The StriveX buddies are still studying, and so are able to hold their hand a bit more closely than a mentor-mentee relationship, which is more formal. So every single bursary recipient is getting all of their costs covered. They have 12 months of working with their mentor. They've got 12 months of working with a StriveX buddy, and we get the kickoff day. So I wanted it as an opportunity to meet everybody. Obviously, in classic Rachel fashion, it has escalated very much since then. And so the plan for tomorrow is we are kicking off with just teas, coffees, pastries, nice little get together at 10 a.m. Everybody is going to meet everybody, so everyone will be sat on tables with a bursary recipient, the training provider, the buddy, and then a member of our team as well. And we're kicking off with 3 speakers. So I'm doing a bit of an intro, and Free Agent are going to come and introduce themselves as well to just say like why we've come together and the purpose and the passion behind the bursary scheme. And then we've got 3 incredible speakers. So Ariona is one of the mentors. She is a really, really close friend of mine. She owns an incredible practice and has had such an incredible journey through her accounting journey to where she is today. And so she is actually coming to share a bit of her story with the team. She is actually a London-based accountant, and so I've buddied her up with a bursary recipient who's in London, and I am manifesting a job for that bursary recipient at the end of it, either with Ariona or like in some capacity through someone that she knows. But she's got a really like deep London background, and so I'm hoping she might be able to make some intros for him. So she's speaking first, then one of our team members, Caitlin, is speaking. She's sharing her journey. So she's actually a career changer, and career changes are very common within the bursary scheme. We see people who have maybe come out of work, or maybe they have come out of work to have a family, and so career changing is very common when we're looking at the bursary scheme, because the bursary scheme is specifically for people who aren't eligible for an apprenticeship for whatever reason and want to become an accountant but can't afford it. And so we have lots of working parents as well. And so Caitlin actually was an EasyJet air hostess before she became an accountant. She is fully AAT qualified now, and she works in our year end team. She's actually coming as a buddy, but also to speak and share her story of changing careers. Then we have Stacey, who is last year's bursary recipient, who is now level 2 qualified, and she's coming to share her story of what it was like to receive the bursary last year, what it's been like to work with us, and to make sure that people understand how to get the most out of that 12-month work that we get to do together as well. So that's the morning. We've got a couple of comfort breaks in between there, and then the exciting stuff's happening. So I wanted to give the bursary recipients an opportunity to capture headshots for updating their LinkedIn profiles, updating their CVs, and just giving them the best head start when it comes to their career. And so from lunchtime to the close of the day, we are actually doing like speed dating across 6 different sections, little stations. So the first is Candid Studios, which are a client of ours, and they're actually also a client of Free Agent. And so Candid are coming. We have paid for them to come and do a 3-hour headshot session where I've got a full list of like all of the different photos that we want to take. But for anyone that doesn't know, Candid is a self-shoot portrait studio. So it's really, really nice if you're a little bit anxious, you don't have a photographer like shoving a camera in your face, you get to shoot your own photos. All of the bursary recipients are going on their own to get really nice headshots, and then we've got each bursary recipient with their sort of group and cohort of people that are supporting them, training providers, all of those things together to take photos of them as a group. And then like me and Stacey are going to have some photos together, me and the team are going to have some photos together, and so I've got a big schedule of the Candid studio. And then while people aren't in the Candid studio, they're going to be rotating between lunch station, which we're just having as like a really nice open buffet so people can come and go and pick. We're then doing CV reviews, so that they've all been told to bring whatever CV they have, and we're going to do deep dive like CV feedback, like let's rip it up and start again, or like here's some tweaks that you could make. We've then got meet your training provider, so they can just spend some really impactful time with a training provider. Then we've got meet your buddies, they'll all meet their buddies. And then we've got filming with the film crew. So we've got a film crew coming to document the day, which is so exciting. I'll be there with my little YouTube camera doing behind the scenes stuff, but we've got a film crew just coming to tell the story. Like, I feel like one of the things that I'm not amazing at is like shouting about a lot of the stuff that I do. I feel like I do it and then expect everyone to like remember that I do it, or that people are just psychic. And so the camera crew are really just going to capture the stories behind the bursary scheme to just help them capture it, help sort of follow them through the next 12 months. And just to capture just what an incredible experience this is for us all to like share together. To close the day, we have got some goodie bags for everybody. So we've worked really hard with Free Agent behind the scenes to pull together some really lovely goodie bags. I'll give you a little haul tomorrow when we're there in person. I can show you everything that we've got planned. But yeah, that is the plan for tomorrow. And while I'm in my hometown nostalgic brain and I've just driven past my old college, I thought it would be a lovely opportunity for me to just have a little chat, have a catch up, tell you what the plan is for tomorrow, and Yeah, I'm just, so excited. So excited. And I hope you guys are enjoying my new format of content. I am so excited to be back on YouTube. I've missed you guys so much while I was away, and I'm just so excited to be creating content in the way that I want to be, which is just like having you right here with me all of the time, rather than like having dedicated YouTube time where I talk to the camera and it's all very official. So excited to be back. Missed you guys so much, and yeah, really just proud and feel proud. I feel I talk a lot on my Instagram stories about going to therapy. I see my therapist every single week, and I feel like self-compassion and actually taking moments and being proud of myself is something that I don't do a lot, and is something that I'm really trying to work on, because I think just that gratitude and pride in myself will probably change my life a bit. So I'm just, parked up with a little pumpkin spice to just have a nice word with myself and take a moment to realise how far I've come and acknowledge not just what I've been able to do for myself in my own life, and to just be like, most people would just buy a really nice car and buy a really nice house and then put headphones on and ignore the rest of the world. But like, that's not me. Like, my default is to just work out how I can find a way to embrace what I've been able to do and try and help other people to do the same, which I really love about myself. That's something I would never change, that ability and that like default nature in me to just help other people. I never want to lose that ever in my life. So yeah, just parked up to take a moment to have a word with myself and be like, yeah, you did good. And like, I feel a bit emotional. Yeah, like I used to walk to college in the dark. I used to walk home in the dark, and I used to have to like scrounge lifts from people that were in my class at college because I couldn't afford the bus, and like the buses stopped running at a certain time. And I just so vividly attached that period of my life to just the whole world felt so hard. And I feel like my goal in life is to just help other people's lives feel less hard, because life isn't meant to be. Like, I don't believe that it is meant to be hard. I believe we're all supposed to help each other, and that makes it feel nicer. So this is turning into a TED Talk now. I'm sure you're very bored of watching me sit in my car nearly crying, drinking a drink. So let's go. I've got lots of prep work to do behind the scenes before we actually get to tomorrow. So I will catch up with you guys shortly. Okay, this is a bit of a rogue interruption to the Bursary vlog, but I'm just going to bring you with me for the next 24 hours to see what I get up to. And so this is a very random part of it. We had some content go live today that we made a couple of weeks ago with our local Porsche dealership. So there's a brand new Porsche garage near us, and Tamsin, who does all of our marketing, is incredible and managed to get them to agree to let us go and film some content there. And I actually left a notebook at Porsche, so I need to go back there to get this notebook. It's one of those like random notebooks that doesn't on its own have one thing in it that's really important, but like is a notebook that I've carried around for like quite a long time. I've had it for a couple of years, and so there's a couple of bits in that notebook that like I'm just quite attached to. So I'm gonna go and grab this notebook that I randomly left in the Porsche garage, but I thought, while I'm here, I will go and buy the team at Porsche some donuts or something nice from, there's a Waitrose next door. So I've just parked up in Waitrose to just grab some nice donuts and nice things. It's currently like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so I thought they might be having a little afternoon slump, and they might all appreciate some little snacks, just to say thank you so much for letting us come and film content there. Like, we were quite disruptive when we went to film some content, and I don't think they quite knew what hit them. So thought I would just get them something nice and say thank you. So come with me, we're just going to pot around. I don't ever go to Waitrose. Like, if I fancy a bougie shop, I go to M&S, but there's just randomly a Waitrose next to the Porsche garage, obviously. So I'm going to go to Waitrose and see what we can find. So come with me. Waitrose is very good for people watching, so would definitely recommend a Waitrose if you're ever bored. I could have really had a Potter and a Mooch, but I've got a lot of work to do when I get home, so I literally just grabbed what I needed and got out. So they're coffee. Oh, I thought they were chocolate. Sorry guys. I got the guys some like mini cupcakes rather than big ones. So I got some coffee and walnut selection, and then I got lemon, topped with blueberries and buttercream or passion fruit and something else, and these ones are walnut or mocha. So nice little selection for them. And then I have been out today running some errands, had to go and see an estate agent and drop some bits and bobs off, and so I
Because I've been out for the day, James would not survive on his own in the wild and has not eaten. I just rang him. He hasn't eaten all day, so I went to the Waitrose deli counter and got him a sausage roll and then 2 chicken samosas. So got some snacks for, you know, my firstborn child, James, at home, aka my husband. And yes, I'm just gonna go and drop these off at the Porsche garage and then head home. But let's check and see how the content is doing. Yeah, it's doing really well. And I'd say if anyone creates content at the moment on Instagram, you'll know that, but when I say does very well, I mean yeah, content that used to do really well just blew up. Content that does really well now is like, oh, that's reached, you know, a quarter of or half of my followers. So I'll keep you updated on that, but I'm just gonna head to the Porsche garage, say hi to the guys, say thank you, get my long lost notebook, and yeah, take it from there. So let's go. Okay, so the guys at Porsche were so grateful, probably because they thought the cupcakes were chocolate. Not coffee. Yeah, it was so nice. Got to see them all again, got my precious notebook back, and now errand number 75 of the day is I've got to head to the office because I need to grab some bits that I've got to take to the event tomorrow. So just gonna head to the office and then I'm gonna wind down for the evening. It's 5 o'clock, and so I'm gonna a bit more tippy-tappy work on my laptop and then take Blue out for a walk, light some candles. Me and James are watching Lost at the moment, which we're getting really, really into. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow morning. Hello, I am joining you from, I was going to say our Manchester office, but I'm not in our Manchester office, I am in Manchester. I have been visiting our Manchester office this week and I just wanted to bring this vlog to a close. I think every single year the bursary video is always a really emotional one. I did a speaking event last night in Manchester and somebody at the end asked the question, what do you want to be remembered for? And my answer to that was, I would love for the accounting industry to be measured before and after me. I'd love for people to change the image that they have in their head when somebody says the word accountant. I'd love for it not to be the butt of jokes in movies and TV shows that I see all of the time. The nerdy white guy is always an accountant. He always works in the finance team. If he's not in the finance team, he's in the IT team. Like, I would just love for that to change. But I would also love for people to see it as a milestone and a benchmark of what it takes to be an accountant and like what sort of background you have to have. We're now a month on from having the bursary launch party and we've already had 5 exam passes. So every single student has passed 1 exam. We've had loads of mentors having one-to-one training sessions. I literally got tagged in a post this morning on LinkedIn saying that people are having their first training sessions. All of our buddies have been working really closely with the recipients as well. And it's all in full swing. And yeah, I feel like this vlog was a little bit chaotic, but it was just so important to me to bring you behind the scenes and show you what that's like. Always keep a lookout, turn notifications on and subscribe to my videos if you are considering becoming an accountant. If you think you might like to apply for the bursary scheme next year, please, like, this is the best way to stay in touch. If you're not following me on Instagram, this is the best place to be. So let me know in the comments which bit of this video you enjoyed the most. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Like, my YouTube family and my online audience is a really, really big part of what I do, and you guys being here literally makes the bursary scheme possible. And so just a huge thank you from me, a huge thank you on behalf of the bursary recipients this year. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I hope to see you again very soon.